Welcome back to SNN and welcome to Week 9 of Friday Football Fever, your home for exclusive high school football highlights from right here on the Suncoast. Now we're coming down to the wire this season as the SSAC schools in the area are 1 week out from their playoffs beginning, and several district matchups will shake out the playoff order for other Suncoast powers as well. But tonight that picture became much more clear. We begin our night at Sarasota High School, where the neutral site played home to our absolute aluminum game of the week between the 1-4 Riverview Rams and the 3-2 Venice Indians. Riverview enters this one with playoff hopes still alive, while also looking for their first victory over the Indians since 2019. Now, as for Venice, they slide in currently as the top seed in the Region 4 of Class 4S despite a rocky start. And with a win, they could take the district title tonight and secure a home playoff game. Now, with the Ram Bowl and Powell Davis Stadium out of commission for the time being, let's head to Cleveland Stadium for the dueling senior night and homecoming clash. Now, both squads hyped with intensity and fire tonight. Both teams trying to make up for early sputters this season. Keon Sears going to get going with the round-off back handspring. My goodness. Now, we start this one. Kirill Kotov sends one deep here on the opening kickoff. And Riverview's L'Oreal Scooter Trotman back to return, and Trotman finds the space off the bounce. He finds the room and the open field, turning it up the left side, down the sideline before being knocked out of bounds just past midfield by Kotov, the kicker there. Now, Rams would have to settle for the Stone Springman 54-yard field goal, but he misses wide left, and the Rams come away empty-handed on that opening drive. Now, Venice takes over their first drive. QB Brooks Bentley finds Dalen Platt here, coated by defenders. Platt comes down with it. Indians first down near midfield. His brother Jay Sean at FAU this season. Now, next play, Bentley finds Keon Sears on this quick slant, and it's off to the races for Sears. The fastest man on the Suncoast finds the end zone. Venice leads early, 7-0, and he does a little Mr. Miyagi crane pose here at the end. But Riverview would answer back. Ensuing drive, Rams quarterback Jeremiah Dawson connects with five-star Charles Lester III over the middle, finding daylight before being brought down at the 5-yard line. Rams threatening in the red zone. Now, the very next play here after that big CL3 gain, it's DJ Johnson finishing off the drive, punching it in, diving for the pylon and the score. Riverview ties this one up at 7 apiece early in the first quarter. Now we go back to Venice's next drive. They're backed up near the goal line when Bentley rolls out to his right looking for Elliott Washington down the sideline, but he lights it up on both sides, and by he, I mean CL3, Charles Lester with the big INT, setting up the Rams to score. Now, next play, the Rams inch ever so closely to that goal line when Dawson connects with tight end Luke Petita, who makes an astounding catch, the Holy Cross commit, setting up the Rams nicely near the goal line for the first down. Now it's Dawson handing it off yet again to Johnson, who puts Colin Atkins in the spin cycle before punching it in for 6. Rams take a 14-7 lead following the PAT. Now, Indians looking to punch back, this time on the ground themselves when Jamaris Gator Wilder bulldozes his way forward, playing pinball with the Rams defense before being brought down for the Venice first down past midfield. Next play, it's Gator again, this time finding more room to run down the right sideline before slamming on the brakes, being brought down near the 10-yard line. Indians threatening in the red zone. Second quarter now, same drive. Indians trying to score when Bentley and Sears cannot connect near the goal line, forcing a turnover on downs. Rams ball, but Venice, they'd get it back, and Bentley and Sears would not fool around on this connection. Bentley dropping it right in the bucket for Keon for the touchdown. Venice ties it up 14-14 before tacking on another field goal prior to halftime. And then Venice, they'd pull away in the second half, taking this one and the district championship. Our friends at Douglas Jeep Chrysler Dodge and Ram watching this one from Joey D's. Loving this, a big W, 31-21 for Venice. Now, Lake Gibson quarterback Jackson Akins here takes this snap. He throws it to wide receiver Tyson Gast. Gast then gets tackled by Palmetto's Thomas Johnson. Palmetto and Lake Gibson clashing tonight. Now Atkins takes the snap here, throws it, the bomb down the right sideline to Cordell Lewis. Lewis gets taken down by number 25, Palmetto's Nate Dawes. And then it's Atkins once again, the Braves QB, handing it off to running back Fintrell Graham for the big gain here. Graham finds a lot of yardage after making several Tigers defenders miss. And then it's Xander Smith for Palmetto throwing this bomb to Zamarian Nuka Lang, and Lang runs it in for the score. Tigers take a 7 2-0 lead. Nuka Lang, one of the most elite weapons on the Suncoast. And it's Smith again taking the snap, finding Kyrie Marshall, his running back, out of the backfield. And Marshall does the rest, making several players miss. Straight line, beeline for the goal line. And it's a touchdown for Palmetto. They lead 14-0 early. Then it's Smith yet again taking the low snap, this time from his center, then pitches it to Devon Thomas. Thomas does the rest as well, gaining some big yardage down the left sideline, but the Tigers would have to settle for the Brandon Gonzalez field goal, and the kick is good, adding to their now 17-0 lead. But Dave Marino's Tigers would dominate heading into next week's matchup with Manatee. Tigers take this one 23-8. And Lakewood Ranch on the road tonight in St. Pete, taking on Gibbs and quarterback Caleb Morris. Thanks to WFLA for sending us these highlights. Second quarter, Gibbs leading 12-7. Lakewood Ranch QB Clayton Dees finds Connor Anthony for the long gain down the left sideline and the first down. Still in the second quarter we are, though. Dees scrambling here, and he finds his man, Nick Senecor, on the right side of the field, who is tackled over the midfield just inside the goal line. Now Lakewood Ranch goes up 14-12 after that extra point is good. Senecor punching it in. Now ensuing Gibbs drive, Caleb Morris hands it off to running back Sammy Miller Jr., who bounces outside and goes outside for about a 20-yard gain. Then it's Morris once again handing it off to, guess who, Miller Jr., who takes it in with a few defenders on him for a touchdown. Gibbs takes the lead 18-14 after a failed two-point attempt, but the Mustangs would saddle up in the second half as Lakewood Ranch goes on to win 34-18. Now that'll bring us to halftime of Friday Football Fever, but don't go anywhere, because coming up we'll recap Sarasota and Braden River, and we'll check in on Rob Hallway's ODA Thunder and their quest for an undefeated season. Now all that and more after this break. Welcome back to Week 9 of Friday Football Fever, the exclusive home for high school football highlights here on the Suncoast and the hub of all things exciting. Now we begin the second half of the Fever at Pirates Stadium at Braden River High School, where Kurt Bradley's 4-2 Pirates host the 3-3 Sarasota Sailors entering play. Both teams are slotted currently in the playoffs, with the Sailors backing in as the 8th seed in Class 4S Region 4, and the Pirates currently the 5th seed in Class 3S Region 4. Now, will all things remain the same following this matchup? Let's head to the highlights. The determining factor, Sailors QB here, Alex Diaz, finds running back Joe Ziegler, who gets through a couple yards here before taking a tumble with a ref in that first play. Watch out, Zebra. Nonetheless, QB Alex Diaz here recovering, getting the ball to number 3 as receiver Caleb Bradley, the Swiss Army knife for the Sailors, bringing it all the way down, getting the Sailors their first touchdown of the night. Bradley finding pay dirt. Sailors take a lead here now. Quarterback Nick Trier for Braden River taking too long here to get the ball out of his hands, taking too much time in the pocket, and the Sailors lose no time to get the sack here. I believe that's Maddox Marchbank on the sack there. No, excuse me, that is not. But this time, Pirates quarterback Trier tries to answer for his loss there, gets it out of his hands and down to his tight end, Cody Kokak, but Sailors safety Nick Wasowich and wide receiver Danny Sanchez get the interception here. Now, Diaz with the long pass to number 2, Tyler Pack, another one of those athletes for the Sailors, gets the perfect catch right in the breadbasket. Big, huge gain for Brody Wiseman's team. Now, Diaz once again gets it over to his running back, this time to Corian Smith, one of the plethora of running backs in the fold for the Sailors. Smith finds the touchdown, his second of the night for the Sailors, but Sailors still adding to that lead. Diaz trying to remake that play from that last drive, finding Jaden Judge this time, who gets his way through the Pirates line. So we've had Jaden Judge, we've had Corian Smith, and Joe Ziegler. My goodness, what a great running back trio there, but he powers through, does Ziegler. But this is Ziegler here sneaking his way through the line and down the field to get the Sailors into the red zone before halftime. And in this encounter, the Sailors would take the win with the final score tonight of 28-3 over the Braden River Pirates. Decisive win there for Sarasota. Now, we turn our attention to Vanderkoy Field, where the Bradenton Christian Panthers welcome the ODA Thunder to close out the Sunshine State Athletic Conference regular season, and the Thunder entering this one 7-0, looking to go undefeated for the very first time in school history in Rob Hallway's first year as head coach. Now, let's head to BCS for this one. ODA Jack Hobson, quarterback here, makes a throw intended for Jason Albano, but Panthers defensive back Jackson McBride intercepts it and takes it to the house for the pick 6. Panthers take an early lead, excitement brewing there at Vanderkoy Field. 7-0. Panthers lead early. Hobson, next drive, hands it off to Griffin DeRusso, who makes a big first down. One of the top rushers in the state for the SSAC and even beyond. DeRusso, a great talent. Now, ball here is handed off to Luca Marino, another one of the great running backs for the Thunder. He runs it in for the score, capping off the DeRusso rushes before. Now, score is tied up 7-7 early as the Thunder answer. Now, another ODA touchdown, this time from, you guessed it, Griffin DeRusso. Finds his way, finds his lane, and finds all-day touchdown. They lead 14-7 to the Thunder. Now, Panthers going for it on 4th down here when one of the Panthers' top men, it's Caleb Matalaw, gets a handoff and fights for a first down the left sideline, running right through Thunder defenders. And again, it's Matalaw on this next play with the ball, who pushes his way in for the score, capping off his own drive here, making defenders miss. Once again, another human pinball, but this time for the Panthers' sake. Now we're knotted up 14-14, and then you get the lights blinking there. Celebrating the touchdown is Panthers faithful. Now Giovanni Giuliani dodges a tackle here on the end around and makes his way to the end zone for the Thunder touchdown. ODA takes a 21-14 lead, trying to find that undefeated season. It's in their grasp. But another pick six here, though, by Panthers. Carson Fisher. Let's take a look at this. Hobson, dropping back, looking for his man. But that Carson Fisher, what a pesky young fellow that is. The crowd goes wild as their home team ties it up before the half. What a great game at halftime. But ODA would pull away in the second half, attaining their undefeated dreams heading into the SSAC playoffs, downing the Panthers 37-21. Now turning the page to Bradenton and Kiker Memorial Stadium, where the Southeast Seminoles were hosting the Jordan Ingman-led Port Charlotte Pirates. Now PC, a sight for sore eyes, back on the gridiron tonight for the first time in nearly a month. September 23rd's upset win over Manatee being their last action, of course, due to Hurricane Ian. This game, originally scheduled for last week and meant to be played in Port Charlotte, was moved back and relocated, but it sure didn't lack in the excitement department. Trailing 13-0 in the first quarter, Southeast with the ball here. Quarterback Noah Obaseki is pressured. He rolls out to his right. He jukes the defender and sneaks into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast Seminoles. But the Seminoles didn't have much offense going for them tonight. The Pirates were everywhere. Desmond Huff here sees a run play developing, and he attacks right away. The Pirates find the end zone here plenty of times. This time Ed Guerrier on the run up the middle, and he's in for the score. Ensuing kickoff, the Pirates kick it high and short, forcing the upbacks to field it, and it's a fumble, and the Pirates recover. Now more offense here for PC. It's Guerrier again. He takes the handoff around the left side, and he's off to the races all the way down to the 2-yard line. A couple plays later, Guerrier is going to finish off what he started with this short touchdown run. His team thinks he's in. Finally, we get the signal there from the official coming in from the sideline. Touchdown, Pirates. Now trying to put something together before halftime. It's quarterback Obaseki. He pulls it down and he decides to run with it, and out comes the ball, and the Pirates recover as the horn sounds for halftime, and Port Charlotte would finish this game strong and win 42-15 in their return to the gridiron over Southeast. Now, the Cardinal Mooney Cougars hosting Fort Myers Bishop Verot on their homecoming night, but much of Verot's team was affected by Hurricane Ian. So the Cougars held a drive this week to get necessities that brought down to Bishop Verot in their time of need. First play, though, a nice opening kickoff return. Carter Smith unloads for Deshaun Jenkins, who takes it to the house for the 50-yard scoring strike. Missed point after, though, and it's 6-0 to start out for Bishop Verot. The Cougars driving. That guy there, is that Dan Vogelbach? Look like he's excited. Cougars driving in ahead of 1st and 10 from the 10. When Griffin Jasati rumbles his way down towards the goal line, but he is marked out at the 1-inch line. My goodness, the referee got some good eyes there. Carson Beach, though, takes it in on the next play, and the Cougars led 7-6 early in the first quarter. Now, their defense gets into the vibe of homecoming as David Bailey and Jack McKinnon stuff the run for a loss. My goodness, look at that. Hounds of Cougars on the Bishop Verot tailback there. But then it's Smith. He passes, and Teddy Foster, one of the greatest athletes on the Suncoast as well, makes the juggling catch and gets a nice chunk of change on the return. With Johnny look at this. Foster up the right sideline, got the neon green gloves. My goodness, Teddy Foster gets the crowd going there at Austin Smithers. But Johnny Antonucci, back after 5 weeks in concussion protocol, hits Ryan White on a crossing pattern, and he's back, baby. Antonucci. Second quarter now, the Cougars would get something back on a field goal, and it's 10-6. Next drive, it's Smith airing it out again and again. He drops a dime for a 60-yard strike to Trevante Watts. What? For a 13-10 lead. Then Antonucci goes long again, trying to air it out just after that Bishop Verot touchdown, but it's picked off by Ryan Gadsden down the right sideline, who gets a nice return. But look at this, down the left sideline, Bishop Verot defensive back. It's a pretty good recovery and big bunch of yardage there for Bishop Verot. Flag late though, but Carter Smith gets picked up on the very next play to end the half without any further scoring. 13-10 Verot at the half, and they go on to win this one tonight, 27-24, one of the greatest rivalry games of the season. Now, the one-loss Hurricanes welcoming Fort Lauderdale's Cardinal Gibbons tonight, sitting at 7-1 on the season. Tough test for the Manatees, trying to make some noise early. Now, right side handoff here from Chiefs quarterback Dylan Risk to running back Patrick Anderson, who is tackled immediately by Tyreke Robinson. Now, the Hurricanes quarterback Johnny Squitieri fakes the handoff here on this opening drive and passes to wide receiver Ramsey Cole for the touchdown. Fake the cameraman out. But Manatee, the Hurricanes, find touchdown as they also do the blinking lights trick to get people waking up at Hawkins Stadium, where stranger things have happened. Now this here is bounced out to the right as runs the ball here, does the Cardinal Gibbons. Risk bounces out to the left, keeps this one, but he runs right into the pack of cheerleaders by the Hurricanes. Kicker, you hear Diaz Reyes also playing a little secondary for the Manatee Hurricanes. Now Risk hands this ball off to Anderson for the touchdown here on this next play. Manatee will drop their second game of the year, losing tonight to the Chiefs, 31-20. Now let's take a look at some scores from around the Suncoast. St. Stephen's victorious tonight over Oasis, 35-12. And then Masters Academy defeated the Classical Academy of Sarasota tonight, 36-16. And then IMG White successful tonight, defeating Ambassador Christian, 45-0, shutting them out. Then Cypress Creek and Parish Community tonight. What an awesome game this was in overtime. Cypress Creek takes this one 30-27, coming back and beating Parish Community. Osceola victorious tonight against DeSoto County, 22-14, the score there. And then the Fighting Tarpons of Charlotte on the road tonight at Pahokee, and they fall 26-13. And then we also have First Baptist Academy putting it on Lemon Bay tonight, 35-7, the final there. And then Mulberry shutting out the winless Bruins of Bayshore, 37-0. And then Clewiston and Hardy in a high-scoring game today. Clewiston pulls it out late, put up 58 against the Wildcats, 58-25, the final. And these next three schools, they had the pleasure of being off this week. IMG Blue, IMG's National Academy team off, and then Sarasota Christian will come back next week to finish off their regular season before their playoffs start in 8-man football. And a few more scheduling updates for games taking place in the coming days. Wiregrass Ranch and Booker are set to square off tomorrow. Some afternoon football on a Saturday, and no, it's not collegiate. We got high school stuff going on at Tornado Alley. That'll be a great game tomorrow at noon. And then Poinciana and Northport was originally scheduled for Monday, but that game has been canceled. And then also up next for Northport, the next game on their schedule, they finally get back to the field October 28th, 7 p.m. against Tarpon Springs at home. Now, of course, you're supposed to starve of fever and feed a cold, but we do the exact opposite here at SNN. We feed the Friday football fever with pizza from Joey D's Chicago-style eatery and pizzeria, the official food of the fever with their 4 Suncoast locations. So thanks to Tommy, Miguel for providing the finest slices of pie that anyone's money can buy. Now that'll do it for this glorious Week 9 of Friday Football Fever. We've entered double-digit territory as Week 10 is on tap. My thanks to Karina, Mariah, and Lamar for their help tonight, as well as our shooters, Don, Brianna, Valeska, Sydney, Robert, and Alex for gathering highlights, and also a thanks to WFLA for sending us that Lakewood Ranch highlight as well. And a huge shout out to our proud sponsors of the Fever, our friends at Douglas, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram. As I mentioned, they love that Venice win tonight, as well as the fine people of Ingman Marine. Also, they love to see that Port Charlotte victory tonight. Big W against Southeast. Now, we'll see you back here for more exclusive highlights of Suncoast High School football. It's here, Week 10. Have a great weekend, everyone.